Hi, my name is Ophelia Dixon-Wallace, and I am a creative writing student at Douglas College. I did a semester abroad in Wales, and I also studied creative writing overseas. I chose to study abroad in Wales because it's always been a dream of mine to travel to Europe. I also chose to study abroad in Wales because UWTSD was the lone institution that offered courses in my field of study. So I was able to take creative writing courses, and it's just always been a dream of mine to go to Europe and see that side of the world. So. Yes, I took one English course and two creative writing courses, and I received full credit for all the courses I took abroad. I communicated a lot with my mom and my grandma about their experiences traveling and living in Europe. My mom has pinpoints all over the map, and my grandma was raised in London. Both inspired me to take the step forward to travel abroad, and listening to their experiences made me feel more excited about my trip and less afraid to leave home. I also did small planning each day from my global, and that really helped me set myself up for success because there was like a checklist, and instead of overwhelming myself and doing it all at once, I would take like one little bar, work on it, leave it, and then come back as the days went on. I did not keep quiet about the questions or concerns that I had prior to leaving, and I posted them all to global engagements on both sides, so to Douglas College and to UWGSD. The global engagement team was a wonderful asset and support system because my questions and concerns were answered in a very quick and timely manner, and I also received a lot of very hearty and good advice for when I was feeling overwhelmed or nervous or not really knowing which step or direction to head into, and there was just a lot of resources that were provided to me that not only helped me leading up to my trip, but also helped me when I arrived, when I was living there day to day and coming home. And it was really nice to kind of have that support system outside of friends and family and outside of myself, to kind of have that also to lean back on. I really appreciated. I created numerous special moments and memories, but my favorite would be the tidbits of travel I was able to experience. Because the school system is a little different compared to over here, I got 3 weeks of non-instructional time in total. So I was able to travel to London, Scotland, and Paris, and those were incredible experiences that I will cherish for a long time. The most challenging part for me was leaving home and the people that made me feel at home. I grieved the separation from my family, my friends, and my partner because it was my first time being on my own. And I overcame this challenge by remembering that it wasn't a goodbye, but rather a see you soon to those that I loved. And every time I was on the phone with my mom, she would just remind me that we do hard things and it's not forever, and that really stuck with me and actually made me realize that it's a beautiful thing that I have people in my life that make saying see you soon so hard to do, but it was so worth it when I came home and was able to see them again after the distance, and it just made me really appreciate the people that I have in my life. Especially for myself and like a few other people who tend to get homesick easily, it sounds kind of cliche, but it really helps like going out and doing things. And I remember I messaged one of my friends who is the traveling bug, like she travels everywhere. And I was like, I'm feeling so homesick. Like, do you have any advice? And she was like, go out and find something to do. And when she first said that to me, I was like, what? Go out and find something to do? And then I was like, okay. So I went on a walk around the community with 2 girls from my flat, and it helped like so much. I was able to come home and I was like, wow, I saw this, and there was all these sheep everywhere, and it like didn't fully bring me out of the slump, because part of feeling homesick, like a little bit of it will always be there, but actually like taking where you are to the fullest and using that to your advantage rather than to kind of wallow in it it's a balance, but like it's so important to find it. And I gained academic, personal, and professional development on my time abroad. I was able to create a confident motion for success and become more adaptable to change. It also allowed me to gain experience in organization, time management, and communication, and overall I created irreplaceable experiences and captured beautiful memories that I will hold in my heart forever. Yeah, I definitely feel like I gained a lot for my writing and my storytelling, because I had to face so many adversities and challenges, like not only within myself, but just with things that would bump up along the road. And the classes that I took, they're called modules over there, but so the modules that I took, it was so wonderfully structured, where it was like we'd do a lesson and then we'd see an example and then we'd have like an hour to work on our own stuff. And so I would take, for example, my 4-day trying to get home, and like the short story literally just like came out of me and onto the page. And I was fortunate enough to be able to do 2 creative writing courses, and they were also so drastically different from what I normally write. And so I was a little bit uneasy about that, but then I was like, I'm also experiencing something that's so different to what I normally experience. So why don't I use that and combine it with that? And like, it was so amazing to put as like simply as I can, to like kind of see it unfold that way. And also like the people that I met were also experiencing similar things, but in a completely different lens. So then it was cool to kind of see their experience with their own eyes, and then also interpret that into my own words and put it on the page, with their permission, of course. But yeah, no, it was great. I was a little bit like, before I even started the application to study abroad, I didn't want to get my hopes up, because creative writing isn't a large known area of like subject and field of study. And so I was like scanning my finger along all the places, and then I landed on Wales. And I actually had never really heard of Wales before. And so I met with Amanda, and she was like, oh yeah, Wales is like great, and blah blah blah, and it's so close. And I was like, okay. And then I took it home, and my mom was like, oh yeah, like that's so close to where Granny J lived. And I was like, oh okay. And then like I did more research, and it just kind of like piled up, and I was like, wow, these courses sound so interesting and so different from what I've done. But for me personally, as like a writer, the more experience you have under your belt, the more the stories kind of build up and unfold. So yeah, I don't think I would have the same lens in the way that I tell stories if I hadn't gone abroad. But that's why research is so important, because if I had just like looked at the places that are advertised for more like business or science or those kind of bigger, more general fields, then I would have just kind of been like, oh, okay, like maybe it's not for me. But then I was like, no, I want to do this. What school offers my field of study? And I'm very grateful that it was Wales. So grateful. Because yeah, I feel like it would have been amazing to go other places too, but I have so many like special memories and I met so many special people over there, so wouldn't change that for the world. I think everyone should study abroad because it's not every day that such a huge opportunity can come and pass you by, and this is an opportunity that you get to create for yourself with help from a lot of people, and the support system is huge when you go and study abroad. And if you have a passion for seeing more or experiencing a different culture while also studying and learning in that culture, this isn't something that's unreachable or unattainable. You can achieve this if you put in the work and if you're passionate about doing it. And for me, in my own experience, when I first saw the application, my head was kind of like, oh, that would be amazing, but I could never do that. And then I went to a seminar that was held like just outside the cafeteria, and slowly, day by day, I was like, actually, I can do this. And there were times when I was very overwhelmed with the process or nervous about what would happen once I arrived, but throughout all of it, I was so excited to go and so excited to experience it, and that excitement never went away. Like throughout my whole trip, whatever I was feeling, I was so excited and so grateful to be there. Yes, I would go tomorrow if someone gave me the chance. I remember I was doing a summer job for my trip, and I was telling people that I was going to Wales to study abroad for just under 4 months, and they were like, oh, I wish I did that, or I wish I got to experience that. And I was like, you still can. Like, you still can. And then they were like, really? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, started looking on their university websites, and they're like, oh, I can. And I think one girl's in Iceland now, and I'm like, research. And it doesn't matter how old you are. Like, for me, I was 18 when I left, but I would have done it if I was much older. This has always been a dream of mine, so I want to go again.